Hi, I'm Geethika Cooray. I am the Vice President and Head of Identity and Access Management at WSO2. And walking in to this lobby, I think just brought back so many memories from years ago when I actually came here. I think I was straight out of school, straight out of A-levels. My dad and I were trying to figure out what my options were for higher studies. And we happened to go to multiple private universities because that was sort of my area's focus. And thinking back at it, I knew I loved technology and I wanted to be in the technology space. And I think I also wanted to be in the commercial side of the organization, like the business side of it, right? I knew I didn't want to become like a typical sort of software engineer. When I came to IIT, I spoke to Rosie. I'm not sure if she's here. I have a feeling she's still here. And Rosie took me through this program, Information Systems with Business Management, and that just totally called out to me because I felt like ISBM, abbreviated, it kind of married both of my areas of interest with technology and the business side of things. And then she spoke about past alumni of IIT. There were quite a bunch of folks from St. Joseph's College, which is where I studied. Some of our senior folks who have actually gone on to do really, really well in the industry. And I think I was quite convinced that IIT was where I wanted to study. And later on, after meeting Rosie, my dad and I kind of spoke to my brother and his colleagues out in the industry. And when I mentioned that IIT was one of the options I was looking at, they immediately said, "Hey, if IIT and their program speaks to you, I think that is definitely an awesome opportunity." Because out in the market and industry, IIT happens to be one of the top places organizations recruit out of, because I think it goes into IIT's history, because in IICS, which is what IIT was called back in the day, IIT was actually one of the pioneers in private higher education, and especially in the technology side of things. So because of its history, in comparison to some of the other private universities, IIT today has folks who are very senior out in the industry, technology or otherwise, who are now very senior folks in their organizations, who actually now give back and they kind of see they love folks out of IIT. We recruit them, as interns or straight out of university. They are ready for folks who complete their final year to recruit these guys because they know the quality of folks at IIT. So when I just heard about all those positive comments, I knew IIT was it. And then looking back at it, my 4 years including my placement here at IIT have just been amazing, because IIT provided us with an amazing culture, a place which had a bunch of students, my batchmates, that had such amazing values, which I think also really rubbed off on me as well, because we have folks from varied backgrounds, all parts of the country, and a few folks out of Sri Lanka as well, who are studying with us. And life at IIT was fun because we were in the IIT basketball team. We reformed the IIT choir at the time. I think few years after, some of our junior batches, they formed the Road Track Club. We had a very vibrant students' union. We had our Stagecraft, which was a talent show. And we had, with sports, whether it's basketball, rugby, hockey, tennis, and the sports meet, which was one, and with our 4 houses, Steve rocks, and with all 4 houses, with sports meet was one of those events we always used to look forward to rather. And life at IIT was amazing, and to date I am in touch with my batchmates. A lot of them are still really close. I consider to be very, very close friends of mine, and I'm sure they'll definitely be friends for life. And I'm so grateful for that. But Another promise that I got and that was absolutely fulfilled were the career prospects. Because I remember, when I was looking for my placement, which is sort of third year when you have the industry placement or internship program, we had so many options to choose from. Some really cool organizations that came to IIT and pitched for interns to join them. Amazing companies, and we were able to send our CVs. I happened to be able to intern at Unilever in their business systems department, which is the IT arm of the University of Sri Lanka. And that 1 year, which was also extended by a couple of months, those 14 months were an amazing. It gave me such an amazing experience to see what it was like to be outside in the industry. And that learning kind of helped me with my final year and my final year project, which was also an amazing thing. That entire final year was so intense, and the final year project really pushed us to our limits, even just like crafting that final year report, where you have constraints on having to stick to a word count and do so much of research and fill surveys and that kind of made you so versatile and ready for anything out there in the market. And when after I graduated, I had so many options out there, and a dean and head of department who at the time, and the head of department is now dean, Miss Naomi, happened to send my CV across to WSO2, and I immediately got an opportunity to speak to WSO2 and interview, which was an amazing change in my life and has brought me to where I am today. And I'm super grateful for IIT because they kept that promise of ensuring that we as alumni, as IIT students, and have amazing career prospects outside when we leave and complete our degree. And you know what? I tried, and I see that on the other side of the fence as well, being in the industry. Because today, when I see a CV and I go through that CV and I see that this is an IIT student and IIT graduate, my entire approach to that interview completely changes, because I know the values they've gone through, the hard work they have put in to complete that degree, and the type of well-rounded education and balanced education IIT provides. So, unless you really mess up that interview, there's a really good chance you're going to be recruited into that I would recruit you. And that's the trust I have in students coming out of IIT, and I'm really confident that is how the entire industry out there sees IIT as well. So my advice to anyone who's looking for a university for their higher studies, coming out of school, if you're not 100% sure what you want to be doing for the rest of your life, if you're not sure, don't worry about it, because you're not the only one. I've personally been there and done that. I know so many others who've been there and done that, have had that sort of experience, not knowing what it is that you want to do. So don't worry about it, first of all. Secondly, don't also go into things blindly, right? Today you have far more resources than we had back just a few years ago. Bit more than a few years ago, but there are a lot more resources today for you to do research on opportunities that are out there, and the universities and the programs out there. So do your research and at least have a rough idea of the direction you may want to see your life progressing and where you want to see yourself in 5 or 10 years. Have that idea. Then when you go looking for universities, look for places that align with your personal values, right? Because there are universities who are a lot about partying. There are universities who are hardcore just about education. You want a place that is balanced, because at the end of the day, when I'm interviewing someone, I want a person who's well balanced, who I'm confident will be able to work with people from various backgrounds, cultures, countries, all of that. We want a person who's not just about working hard, person who works hard and plays hard, right? Has that sort of balance, and has a person who has really good individuality, right? Because all of that combined is what makes a company have an awesome culture within that organization, right? And that's the sort of person we are looking for, a person who can fit into that culture, especially at WSO2. Because for us at WSO2, culture is number one, and the culture, having the culture fit, is sometimes as important or a bit even more important. Because you can be the smartest person, but if you're not a good culture fit, you may not be able to join WSO2 or a lot of organizations out there, and something that we look for. So making sure the students at the university, prospective university, and the alumni and all of those align with those cultures and values that you believe in, it's also very, very important. You also should look at all the other stuff like that, the extracurricular activities, etc., because that's really important. Because you're coming out of school and you're in a controlled environment. University is not as controlled as school. There are not as many rules as stuff like that, but it also gives you this sort of stepping stone of getting ready for what's out there in the industry. Because out there in the industry, it's not a controlled environment, it's a world, right? So you want a place that will help you bridge from being in a completely controlled environment in school to what's out there in the market and out there in the world. And IIT provides you an amazing foundation. And even while I was at IIT, I remember so many of our alumni coming and speaking to us and giving us an idea of what's out there in the world. Our lecturers were so cool, and a lot of them were from the industry. They were not like full-time. Some of them were amazing full-time lecturers. Some of them were great part-time lecturers who are out there in the industry doing day-to-day jobs and coming and speaking to us about challenges they faced out in the industry, right? And preparing us for what's out there. I still remember that chat with one of our lecturers, Sanjeev Jaratnam, who spoke about organizations giving you a BlackBerry, because Blackberries were getting a BlackBerry was a thing back in the day, and he spoke about what that actually means and kind of preparing us for that. Amazing. And to date, I have still not forgotten that lesson, and I take it to. So having that kind of experience and getting that also really, really helps. So that's about choosing the university, and obviously one place that's reputed, that's going to give you great job opportunities. And I've already told you, how much of awesome opportunities are out there if you want to study at IIT. Here's a message for you once you are at IIT. Guys, these 4 years, soak it up, because it's going to be some of the sort of formidable years of your life. Years where you get a chance to kind of get a feel of what's out there, but also experience camaraderie, make friends for the rest of your life, folks you might end up working with out there, people you might end up spending the rest of your lives with. So many of those from my batchmates, amongst our batchmates as well. And it's a lot of opportunity to learn and become and really craft the person you want to be out in society, out in the world. It's not just about studies. It's also about all the extracurricular activities that IIT has to offer. Take it all in, soak it up. You do not want to, go down 5 years after IIT and turn back and be like, oh man, I should have done a bit more extra stuff outside the studies, because that's a regret you should not harbor. Right? It's not worth it. So take it all in, soak it all in, and absolutely enjoy it, because at the end of the day, those memories are what matter. And I'm going to square with you. IIT is not perfect. And actually, come to think of it, no university or no place out there is perfect. It isn't. And if any organization or university tells you they are perfect and that they're going to prepare you for everything that life has to offer or that's going to throw at you, that's a sham. Just run away from it. If you're looking for a place that prepares you for anything life has to offer, that's going to be IIT. That's what IIT brings to the table. It prepares you for anything. It makes you a well-rounded individual, right? From I recall the first time we had to do a presentation at IIT, and I remember myself and my batchmates how their first presentation was. I still remember it to date. And then IIT made us do presentations every other week after that. And then now I recall, those same guys and girls, their final year presentations, right, after their 4 years, they had improved, we all had improved by leaps and bounds, from our communication to our confidence to the presentation skills. Our soft skills had just completely changed and transformed. And I can't think of, so many other places out there that's going to give you that opportunity to really craft that person you want to be out there. So take it in, soak it up, take all of those presentations, all those opportunities to improve your soft skills, take it all seriously, right? I think they have a module for communication skills. We didn't take, some of us didn't take it as seriously, but thinking back at it, that was one of the most, we had so much of fun, but it was also some of the most important foundational aspects that are going to be so useful for you right out there. So take it all in, enjoy yourself. It's very, very important. Okay, and IIT prepares you for anything. And I joined WSO2 for sales, and being in a technology company and in sales, it's not easy, because there are very, very technical people telling you, about their products and how to sell it. But I was never afraid of the technology. I went there confident that I can grasp the technology aspect. That's fine. I just need to learn how to sell it. And I learned all of that. And, many years down the line, today, I'm not in sales. I have the opportunity to lead one of WSO2's product lines, one of their business units, that's basically taking one extremely technical product to market in the identity and access management space. I have the opportunity to work with some extremely technical folks, help them translate that technical capabilities of a product and craft a go-to-market strategy out of it, right? And so that more organizations are able to buy our products and experience the value that WSO2 brings to the table. And from a salesperson to leading a product business unit, if you told me a few years ago, I would have never believed that I would have been able to transition from one to the other. But thinking back at it, it is absolutely the foundation that IIT provided me, and the skills and the knowledge that IIT provided me, that has brought me to where I am. Obviously, so many other things as well, people, friends, family, all of that, yes. But that foundation that IIT provided, to me, is absolutely priceless. So I guess my final message is to us members of the IIT alumni. I think there's the IIT alumni organization has finally set up a platform for us alumni to interact with each other and get to know each other and help each other out. So I guess my request is let's all get on the platform and give back to IIT, and because of all that IIT has helped us in our careers and our lives. So let's be sure to join the IIT alumni platform, and even with it's on the platform or outside, with your alumni member or still a student or a prospective student of IIT, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn, Geethika Cooray, or on much of the other social media platforms as well. And reach out, and I'll be happy to provide you with any assistance or advice that you may require. So thank you so much for listening to me jabber on, but I hope it adds some value to your careers or lives. Thank you, and all the very best to you. Enjoy.